Peace everyone, welcome back to Stoic Ronin Studio. I really didn't expect to be making another devlog so soon, but the reality is I have just been keeping my head down and working like crazy. Some weeks feel slow, but these past couple weeks have been so productive. Last time I showed you riveting gameplay of a capsule moving and path tracing. This time, we have interactions, post-processing, player stats, and questing. The foundation of just about every game is interaction. It really is the entry point to the world, so what I have set up is fairly straightforward. Everything starts with converting the cursor's screen position into world coordinates. Each actor in the scene that I want to interact with have a hover component that runs a simple point test that fires enter and exit delegates. I just realized I'm not sure if the technical information is helpful or even remotely entertaining for these devlogs. I sometimes catch myself explaining these things to my wife using various analogies, and regardless, I just get the same old nods and blank stares. But I could discuss the details all day because I love this stuff. No matter how deep you get into programming or how computers work, storing electric charges in cells and reading data across the bus to billions of transistors burnt into silicon using photolithography. The more you know, the more it feels like magic, which makes programming actual wizardry. I only wish I didn't wait until I was 35 to get into it. Anyways, interactables are registered when you click on them and the player sees it as a target, and the path tracing does the rest. The outline, on the other hand, is using a lightweight post-processing shader. When I designed the water engine, I added post-processing support that is added to the render cycle, so it's pretty easy to set up. There really is nothing special, probably a dozen tutorials here on YouTube that show you how to do it. Edge detection that paints any transparent pixel bordering an opaque neighbor. Given that Catalyst of Quoralis is being designed around the idea of a story-driven RPG, interactions and questing are vital to the core of the game, so it's important to have them set up, and it's really exciting to have it done so quickly. For questing, I currently have talking, collecting, exploring, and fighting. There are a few more types of quests I may explore, but I think having the core now is a good baseline. The few I am considering adding the most is crafting and escorting, but crafting does not necessarily fit in this world, so I'm not betting on seeing it in the game, but the escorting one might actually just become a mechanic of the game in which your party members follow you, sort of like those old school JRPG games. Also, you can see I have some working placeholder UI for the character screen and the quest log. Right now, the UI system is kind of messy and will need to be completely redesigned in terms of system design. UI is one of those things you never think of, and then you start learning to make it, and you quickly learn how incredibly difficult it is to make, and then how much more difficult it is to make it good. My intention is to build a modal stack and use the mediator pattern, but for now the spaghetti works for what I need it to do in the R&D project. Speaking of patterns, I was in such a flow state this past week, I actually opened up a project I did back in January. I spent about 6 weeks working on a project where I built working examples of the solid principles and 24 game design patterns with an interactive console simulation. The project is open source, so if you're learning C++ or programming, I'll have a link for the repository in the description. The water engine also, which is what I built to make this game, is also there for your own use or exploration. Anyways, I appreciate you coming by and watching. Just a reminder, Chapter 1 of the novel Catalyst of Quoralis is on the website. I'd love to hear what you think of it. Chapter 2 is also done, so let me know if you'd like to read it, and maybe I'll put it up on the next devlog. Also, if you are an aspiring game dev and this project sounds like something you want to be a part of, you can contact me. I'm looking to grow the studio. Speaking of growth, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.